a get on this level virtual reality DJ set using Beat Saber. Got a lot of new things to cover today, so I'm going to get right into it. Hope you enjoy.
I've been free to do whatever I want, to make the shows I want, anywhere I want, with whom I want, in any style I want. So at first I don't know any other way, and by now I won't have it any other way. Life is good. Why settle for less?
Be open to experience. Be willing to try new things. Don't have a rigid plan. Accept random acts of hospitality without judgment or fear. Don't be afraid to wander. Don't be afraid to eat a bad meal. You know, if you don't risk the bad meal, you'll never get the magical one. But I think most important, be humble, be grateful, 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 be humble.
Before I started traveling, I thought that the human race as a whole would turn on itself at any moment, venal, petty, cruel, arbitrary, and it's true that all of those things exist in this world, but I meet mostly pretty nice people.
Doing the best they can, often under very, very difficult conditions. I met a lot of very nice people who've done very, very bad things that conflict with my deeply held conceptions of justice, or sexual equality, or acceptable practice, or religious views. There are a lot of gray areas in travel. But I think that on balance, the world is filled with people doing the best they can,
Best they can,
Be humble, be grateful, be humble, be grateful,
Be humble, be grateful, be humble, be grateful, be humble, be grateful, be humble, be grateful, be humble, be grateful, be humble, be grateful.
I've been fired many times during my cooking career. I was not a particularly good chef. I had a lot of problems at various points in my career and narcotics. I accepted failure as a chef because I was at various times a bad chef.
Maybe even a bad person.
These days, if I fail, it's because I tried to do something and did not succeed. Or I just was not able to do what I hoped to do or wanted to do. rather fail gloriously than not try. But I'm not interested in telling stories with confidence. I'm looking to tell them with some style and originality and some creativity.
Everybody's got these stupid barriers they put in their own head. You gotta resist those goddamn things, because they don't do you any good, and they certainly define the potential for your future in a negative way. It's not self-serving, and it's not even real. But this idea that everybody's got these stupid barriers they put in their own head. You gotta resist those goddamn things, because they don't do you any good, and they certainly define the potential for your future in a negative way. It's not self-serving, and it's not even real. But this idea that there's no way to get past the starting block today is just ludicrous. It's crazy. And it's just this poor thinking. And people that are trapped in bad situations, one of the problems is you feel like this is your future. You feel like you're fucked. You can't get out of that. There's no hope. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no rainbow. And if you feel like that, that alone can be incredibly defining and limiting. But if you look at yourself objectively and say, I kind of am fucked here. I'm in credit card debt, working in a shitty job, I don't like what I'm doing, but I have some ideas. I need to feed those fucking ideas. I need to feed them and water them. I need to set aside a certain amount of time every day to just try to make those things happen every day. To just try to make those things happen every day. To just try to make those things happen every day. You can do that. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can do that. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. Look at someone who's doing really well, like very famous and successful. All you see is him now, flying around private jets, wearing a new pair of sneakers every day, driving around in Bentleys. You just see that. You don't see him being a young kid in Philadelphia going to open mic nights. There's a progression that you're not witness to. You don't see it. And that takes place in everything. It takes place in office, in comedians and musicians. There is a starting point, and with time and focus, and as long as you reevaluate and reassess and constantly, objectively look at what you're doing and then pursue it with passion and focus, you get better at things. There's always going to be people that are luckier than you. Some of it is luck, and some of it is courage. Some of it is putting your ass out there. Some of it is trying things. One of the things that I always like to tell people that I think you should do is do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can do that. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. Teaches you things you don't learn from success. I think failure gives you an opportunity for self-examination and also gives you a feeling that is very uncomfortable. And that very uncomfortable feeling helps you grow. And don't look at these failures as proof that you suck. Look at them as opportunities for growth. And don't look at these failures as proof that you suck. Look at them as opportunities to be motivated to do better. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can't do that. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can't do that. Do shit that's difficult every day, every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. story. You have to be the hero of your own story. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. And you can do that.
Akira. He's got clout. Akira. He's got clout.
The opportunity takes place usually when you're young and you don't have any responsibility. That's when you have your options. Well, your options are severely limited the more you gather responsibilities. Like, if I had, as a 51-year-old father of 3, married man, pays taxes, has a house and a mortgage and a business and all that jazz, if I had to quit everything now and struggle the way I struggled as a stand-up comedian, it would never work. The only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. And most people want to take the safe path. The safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation. Almost every time. It's hell. It's hell. You sell insurance or some other shit that you care zero about. It's hell. It's hell. It's hell. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The way you can change is you have to put aside enough money to give yourself a window. And then you have to have a plan, and you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever shit job you do, planning your escape. And you have to come to the realization very clearly that you fucked up, and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. And whether it is you're trying to be an author and you're working 8 hours a day plus commuting plus family responsibilities or whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, god damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You gotta go. You gotta get after it. You gotta go. You gotta get after it. Get after it. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go, you have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. The only way you ever get where you want to go. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. And you have to have discipline. That's most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific. You gotta get after it.
Akira. He start clout.
The opportunity takes place usually when you're young.
We're gonna go back to Boston.
Okay.
Okay, so you said that's really where things started for you. So you moved there when you were 13. First of all, like what kind of kid were you in school?
If ADD is real, I certainly had it, and I was very, very interested in what I was interested in. I was very uninterested in people telling me what to do. Essentially couldn't wait to get out of school. But I would excel at things that I had interest in. Initially it was art. I wanted to be a comic book illustrator until I really got into martial arts. And martial arts became the focus of my life. Around 14, 15 years old, that's when I really became massively obsessed. And it was really the first thing that I ever did where I really didn't feel like a loser. Like I really felt like, oh, I actually have some talent. I actually can be exceptional. There's like something, it's like, you know, I grew up constantly moving, Didn't really have a lot of friends. I would be new in this town. I'd get picked on. I wasn't a big kid. And there was a lot of issues with that psychologically. I didn't like being afraid of other kids. I didn't like not knowing what to do if I ran into kids that were going to bully me and pick on me. You know, martial arts changed that 180 degrees. And then I became someone who I would be afraid of. You know, I became the opposite of what I was. And then I became someone who I would be afraid of. You know, I became the opposite of what I was. So what I was someone who was terrified of conflict, didn't know what to do, and what I became was a Taekwondo champion. I became a martial arts champion. I knew how to fight.
How did it come about?
It was very fortunate. I'd done a little bit of martial arts training, and one day I was in Boston for a Red Sox game, and as I was walking home to the train station, I decided to go check out the J. Hun Kim Taekwondo Institute. It was right there. So I went up the stairs, and as I was walking up the stairs, a guy named John Lee was training. I heard this crazy sound. What it turned out to be this man kicking this bag and slamming his heel into this bag and having the chain snap and rattle and thud of his heel slamming into this leather bag. I got up there and I watched this guy work out. I couldn't believe a person could do that. I'd never seen anybody kick something so hard in real life. Anybody that had incredible martial arts skill like this guy did, John Lee, who became a mentor of mine. That changed everything. I was there the next day. I talked to them. They gave me a brochure and a pamphlet. I was probably there every day of my life until I was 22 years old. Just completely by luck, wandered into one of the best schools in the world for Taekwondo. I just got lucky. I got really, really, really lucky. I became someone who I would be afraid of. You know, I became the opposite of what I was. And then I became someone who I would be afraid of. You know, I became the opposite of what I was. I had keys pretty quickly. Right away, my instructor recognized that I was pretty obsessed and I was physically pretty talented. So he had me teaching classes instead of paying. One of the best ways for someone to get good at martial arts is actually to teach. You actually refine your technique. You think about it more. I was 14 or 15 by the time I got to that school. I had my black belt by the time I was 17, and I was competing in the adult division by then. I won the state championship when I was 18, and I won it every year from then until I stopped. Luckily, with high school, kids heard about it right away. One of the kids you go to school with is flying all over the country, kicking people in the head. They just avoided me. People avoided me. Junior and senior year, I'd already become this weird kid that was obsessed with martial arts. I spent most of my life, from the time I was 15 until I was 21, training and competing. I probably fought over 100 times, 100% singular, uniquely singular, but I avoided most of the pitfall, high school partying and all that stuff. I didn't do that because I was scared of getting hurt. I was scared if I showed up for training hungover that I'd get beat up. I was scared of anything that would take even a tiny bit away from my performance as a fighter because I was obsessed with it. I became someone who I would be afraid of. You know, I became the opposite of what I was. And then I became someone who I would be afraid of. You know, I became the opposite of what I was.
He's got clout.
Everybody's different. Everybody's similar, but everybody's different. And your attitude has a giant effect, not just on your life, but on other people's lives around you. That's the other thing about it. Those I can't catch a break guys, get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear that shit. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't buy it. Because everybody has bad breaks. I've had a shit ton of bad breaks. But you know what I did? Stayed up. And I thought through it. And I figured out what the fuck I did wrong. And then I went back. It's like, I fucked up everything I've ever done 100 times. There's no other way to do it.
You gotta realize when you have those shitty breaks what that is.
It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just challenges. And the people that look at those challenges and go, why was I have these challenges? They're cancer. Those people are dangerous to be around. They will rob you of your enthusiasm. They don't give you any fuel. They're the opposite of fuel. The fuel people kicking ass. The people that are out there just fucking hustling. Always getting things done. Always getting things. My friend Jocko, every morning I'll check his Instagram page, 4:30, shows a picture of his watch. Get after it. He's out there working out 4:30 in the morning. Does it every fucking morning. Why? Because he doesn't want to. And that's how you do it. You go and get after it, you don't make any excuses. And those kind of guys are fuel. But those I can't catch a break guys, they're the opposite of fuel. They're just pissing on your fire. They're no fun. Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear that shit. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear that shit. 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 Get them the fuck away from me. The people that surround him are all idiots. Because only idiots want to be around I can't catch a break guy. Only the dummies stick around. After a while, even if they're your good friend, you gotta be like, bro, you gotta fucking stop. You gotta stop those I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. Fucking something. Something. Fucking something. But this I can't catch a break shit is not helping anybody. And it pushes everybody away from you. Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear that shit. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. Get them the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear that shit. 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 Get them the fuck away from me.
The one thing that discipline definitely does help you. The one thing that discipline definitely does help you with, it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. A big part of success is just not being fucking lazy and just doing it. 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be a fat fuck. Because there's a lot of days I don't want to do it. I mean, it's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through. They're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline, I get things done. I'm like the most lazy, disciplined person I know because I don't want to do it.
Let's go.
Through discipline, I get things done. The pro goes to work. Through discipline, I get things done. This is what I do.
I also think that discipline is a pathway to creativity. When you're on the battlefield, it is an absolute exercise in creativity. How are we going to attack them? How are we going to disorganize them? How are we going to get in their heads? That's all just massive creativity. And when I look at people that are artists, I would imagine the more disciplined you are, you gotta write stuff down, you gotta read, you gotta increase your vocabulary so that you are quicker and sharper, so that when people are saying things, you have more words to battle back at them. All those things, all that freedom that you get on stage comes from the discipline. You study, you learn, you read, you write, you talk, you go through things. Is that an accurate statement?
Absolutely accurate. Through discipline, I get things done. The pro goes to work. Through discipline, I get things done. This is what I do. Through discipline, I get things done. The pro goes to work. Through discipline, I get things done. This is what I do. And it doesn't matter if you're sick, doesn't matter if you have kids, you're a pro and you go to work. And you have pride in that. And then when you are in front of that keyboard, you look down the count, it says, I got fucking 1,000 words today. How did that work? Gems blossom. Well, you might have a day where you just write nothing but dog shit. So what? Show up again tomorrow. And tomorrow out of that dog shit, a flower will emerge. Through discipline, I get things done. The pro goes to work. Through discipline, I get things done. This is what I do. Through discipline, I get things done. The pro goes to work. Through discipline, I get things done. This is what I do. I fought from the time I was 15, and I think I had my last fight. It was either I was 21 or 22. The last 3 fights were kickboxing fights, and I had those while I was doing stand-up comedy. I was spreading myself too thin. I was working a bunch of different jobs. I was working delivering newspapers. I was working as a private investigator's assistant. I did some construction. I did a bunch of different odd jobs to make a living. I had 3 kickboxing fights, and I was entertaining the idea of fighting professionally. But I was also starting to get really worried about brain damage. I did a lot of boxing sparring and a lot of what you would call gym wars, where guys we would beat the shit out of each other. And you'd get hurt, and you'd come home with headaches. You basically were fighting in the gym. The gyms that I came up in were real hard-nosed, really, tough gyms. If you weren't tough, you did not survive, and they weren't interested in anybody that couldn't take a shot or anybody that wasn't willing to go to war. So you would put on a mouthpiece, you put on a cuff, you put your shin pads on, and you beat the fuck out of each other. And that was a big part of learning how to fight. You would fight all the time, fight all the time. You had to fight several days a week. You would fight all the time, fight all the time. You would fight all the time. It would make some of the people laugh and train. Because we were always nervous. When we would go to tournaments, we were nervous. Because, I'd seen many of my friends get knocked unconscious at these tournaments, get kicked in the head, taken to hospitals, and, I'd seen it in the gym, too. A lot of guys getting beat up and knocked out. It was constant. It happened to me a couple of times. I'd been hurt. So we had this gallows humor. We would go to these events. The tension would be so thick. Everybody taking deep breaths and trying to relax and just stay loose before you fight. And I would be the class clown. It was a charged environment. So anything that I said that was actually funny would get a giant reaction. And that became addictive. You would fight all the time. Fight all the time. I'd have fights several days a week. You would fight all the time. Fight all the time. You would fight all the time. You would fight all the time. Fight all the time. I'd have fights several days a week. You would fight all the time. Fight all the time. You would fight all the time. My take on it was, you think I'm funny because you're my friend. But other people are going to think I'm an asshole. Like, the things that I think are funny are fucked up. I have a fucked up sense of humor. I mean, here I am, devoting most of my time trying to get really good at knocking people unconscious, trying to separate people in their consciousness. So I was doing my best every day to get good at that. I was trying to... Is a management issue. You could be in a shit state of mind right now, but you can make some decisions to adjust that. Over the next couple hours, you'll get to a much better place. And these constant management decisions, they waver in and out of your life on a daily basis. Like this idea that you can have a good mindset and all of a sudden you'll be happy. I mean, that's horseshit. It's like the tide. It comes in and it comes out. There's gonna be days where you're just not feeling so good physically. That's going to affect the way your happiness level is. It's never static. It's never exactly the same. Me? I'm happy. Happy as fuck. This is what I would say. I'm happy. Happy as fuck. This is what I would say. It's like hunger. Goes in and out. It's always there. This is something I've cultivated for a long time and avoided things that make me unhappy and figured out what those things are and been very rigid about eliminating them from my life. There's a lot of cynicism in these days about inspiration, motivation, because there's a lot of fake shit. See a million of these inspirational quote pages run by people that are probably depressed. You know, you see a lot of people that are talking about how to get ahead in life, but they're not really doing anything themselves. So there's a lot of cynicism involved in that. But there's also sincerity in it. If you just look at it with a pure heart and a pure mind, you can get a lot of energy out of that. And when you're around happy, inspirational people that are successful, it makes you feel better. And you get inspired. And if you act on that inspiration, your life will be more fulfilled. And it's not just inspirational in terms of financial success, but in terms of doing difficult things. I'm happy. I'm happy as fuck. Is what I would say. I'm happy. I'm happy as fuck. Is what I would say. I think that there's a lot of people out there that think somehow or another you're going to get to some place where you're living in silk sheets and you're getting your toes done, someone's dropping grapes into your mouth. I don't want that. That guy's not going to be happy. He's going to be bored. An hour into the grave, get those fucking grapes away from me. Stop painting my toes. What am I doing in this bed? I got to do something. The human organism, the animal that we are, needs constant stimulation because it evolved trying to find food and escape enemies. And this is the great joy that you have in taking care of your children. You can protect your children from the elements and the enemies. And it's also the great sadness that we see in losers. When I see a loser, I see some guy who's 43 years old, who lives in his parents' basement, he fucking hates the world. I'm like, that was a baby that somebody just gave shitty nutrients to, food or thoughts and ideas and examples. And this kid developed these horrible, self-defeating patterns of behavior that led them to this point where they're this person with no future and no idea of how to get out of this rut and probably never will escape it. It might just wind up sucking on a gun. I'm happy. I'm happy as fuck. This is what I would say. What I would say. This is the world that we live in today, and I think part of that world is because we have been fed this line of war shit that you're supposed to seek comfort. And I don't think you are. I think you're supposed to seek lessons, and you're supposed to seek difficult tasks. Because if I just think, well, tomorrow I'm just gonna coast and eat Twinkies and watch TV. Oh, hello, sadness, my old friend. Hello, depression. When you're not doing anything, you feel like shit. And that's just part of being a human being. And we can pretend that we're something other than what we really are. And we can pretend, nah, me, man, I'm just cool, just chilling, doing nothing. Bullshit. You're a fucking human. You evolved from the fucking hundreds of thousands of years of hunters and gatherers and people that were struggling. Human reward systems are carved deeply into your DNA. And if you don't respect that, if you don't respect the mechanism of happiness and fulfillment and what you really need to do in order to feel satisfied in life, camaraderie, family, struggle, learning are imperative. They're all a giant part of being a person. I'm happy. I'm happy as fuck. This is what I would say. Is what I would say. I'm pretty fucking happy. I'm pretty fucking happy. I'm pretty fucking happy. idea, the big one, is the stoned ape theory. The idea, the big one, is the stoned ape theory. Terence McKenna's theory was the reason why the human brain size doubled over a period of 2 million years, and he equates it to the time where the climate changed and rainforests receded into grasslands, and these monkeys climbed down from trees, started experimenting with new food sources. They would flip over cow patties to find like bugs and beetles and shit. When they saw mushrooms growing on the cow patties, certain groups of these monkeys started eating these mushrooms. Two things happened. One, it increased their visual acuity and made them be able to see much better. And then the other thing that happened is it made them horny. So here you have these better hunters, they can see things better. They can throw things and they're more accurate. And then they're horny, so they're gonna fuck. And then of course, if they're eating plates of these fucking things, they're gonna have psychedelic experiences. And if you're a monkey, maybe if you have psychedelic experiences every day, it's like a force-fed evolution thing. It's like a force-fed evolution thing. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Monkeys in space. If we figure out eventually we are all one thing, these spores are all like, they can go in a vacuum in space. They can travel in extreme cold, extreme heat, they can absorb radiation and not get damaged. And they can travel from other planets. Like if a meteor hits, a chunk of this planet can get knocked off, gets sent flying into space, and it lands on another planet. And those spores get to give birth on this planet and just communicate with all the animals that are here. When you have a DMT trip, it feels like communication with intent, but with no words. I understand exactly what you're saying, but I understand it more as a wave. It's like a very clear and obvious wave of information. One of the times I had this DMT trip, the DMT things, they would say a bunch of the same thing. Relax and don't give in to astonishment. But they're not using words. That's the next shit, man. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Monkeys in space. Monkeys in space. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Monkeys in space. Monkeys in space. Starting to look at this, they're starting to back off, starting to look up at the sky. They're starting to look to the left and look to the right and go, whoa, what the fuck is this? What is this thing we're doing here? Because this isn't just, we're living life. In the beginning, Bob was a baby. Bob went to high school, then college. He played a bit of football before settling down with his... No. That's just shit we made up to make ourselves feel more comfortable. I mean, those events are actually taking place. Bob is going to school, but that doesn't mean shit. Okay? I really mean something is we're flying through the fucking universe. Flying through the fucking universe. We're in space. We're in a ship. It's an organic ship. We're not on the ground. We're not on the ground. We're flying. I'm afraid to be in space in a spaceship. You're on a spaceship right now. It's just fucking huge. It's a 24,000 mile across spaceship. Okay, it's a spaceship. That's what it is. Okay, it's a spaceship. We're not grounded. It's not like the universe is a solid mass and we're sitting on it. We're flying. We are right now hurling and we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour around a massive nuclear explosion. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Monkeys in space. Monkeys in space. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Psychedelic experiences every day, every day, every day. Monkeys in space. Monkeys in space. The idea, the big one, is the stoned ape theory. It's this fear of discomfort. People have this extreme feeling in their mind when it comes to their associations with exercise. They want to avoid discomfort. They feel like any type of exercise. It's this fear of discomfort. People have this extreme feeling in their mind when it comes to their associations with exercise. They want to avoid discomfort. They feel like any type of exercise is just like something to be avoided. That's not for me. Fuck that. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to strain. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to strain. A lot of times this association that they have is about the beginnings of getting in shape. It's not about once you're actually fit. It's once you're actually fit and you look forward to it. It feels great. If I can't get a workout in, I look at my schedule and go, oh shit, I don't have any time for a workout, which means I'm not going to get that good feeling, get that good feeling. And so instead of looking at it like, oh, I've got to go grunt and sweat, I'm thinking I'm not going to feel good, I'm not going to feel relaxed, I'm not going to feel carefree, even appreciative, like my appreciation of things, it gets enhanced greatly after exercise. I just feel better. I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain. Get that good feeling, get that good feeling, get that good feeling. I want to sweat, I want to strain, 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 I want to sweat, I want to strain. Get that good feeling, get that good feeling, get that good feeling. It feels great. Most people, their associations are to avoid anything that's uncomfortable. It's so illogical. Discomfort is your friend. It really is. Discomfort, not being happy and content with certain situations in life, they're massive, massive motivators. They're amazing at facilitating change. Yet our instinct is to avoid those and just sit on the couch and watch some fucking reality show. It's bizarre. When I get really disciplined and really consistent with my workouts, I almost feel momentum. I feel like there's push behind me, like, all right, yeah, now I'm doing sweat. I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain. Get that good feeling, get that good feeling, get that good feeling. I want to sweat, I want to strain, 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 I want to sweat, I want to strain. Get that good feeling, get that good feeling, get that good feeling. Yeah, now I'm doing it. Yeah, now I'm doing it. I'm doing it all the time now. I'm looking forward to the next time, and it makes that resistance much weaker, and it makes my motivation and my discipline much stronger. I think a lot of it is based on just the consistency. Blowing something off is not just bad for you physically, it's also bad mentally, because then that option is now available. The option to fuck off. You did it before, and you're probably going to do it again, and you'll get mediocre results, not just in that aspect of your life, maybe in all aspects of your life. That option to fuck off, when you embrace it, that is a pathway that you might choose when it comes to dealing with conflict in your personal life, business decisions, career decisions, like an uncomfortable decision that you might be faced with, what your pathway is in life, but you don't do it, instead you fuck off. And that inclination to fuck off, that gathers momentum as well. The inclination to be disciplined, that comes with momentum. I think both things. You take a path. I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain. Get that good feeling, get that good feeling, get that good feeling. I want to sweat, I want to strain, 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 I want to sweat, I want to strain. Get that good feeling, get that good feeling, get that good feeling. It feels great. Of the fuck off. Your body is like a race car that you can juice up yourself. Like you can add the fat tires, you can add improved suspension, you can beef up the horsepower of the engine. You do all that yourself. Or you can just choose to have this shitty body. No one's under the illusion you're gonna live forever, but you are enhancing the experience that you're currently involved in right now. You are alive, you do experience this life, but do you experience this life optimal? Is it as enjoyable as it can be? And we all know there's a spectrum for that enjoyability. We've all had times in our life where it's not been so great, and then times in our life everything came together like, what a fucking great day, woo! Great day, woo! Great day, woo! Great day, woo! You make more of those. You make more of those. You make more of those. You can make more of those. And then the whole thing's better. And then the whole thing's better. And I think when that whole thing is better, it affects everybody you touch, everybody that's around you, everybody you come in contact with. That in turn, I mean, it sounds so grandiose, but in turn can affect the entire race of human beings. It's this fear of discomfort. It's this fear of discomfort. People have this extreme feeling in their mind when it comes to their associations with exercise. They want to avoid discomfort. They feel like any type of exercise
Akira. It's for the heroes.
You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that.
90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. Gotta be those days you push through. This is what I want you to do. Write down what you would like to fix about your life. If you're 30 pounds overweight, you wanna lose 30 pounds? Do it the right way. Write down what you eat. Exercise every day. Force yourself to do it. The brain is the general, the troops are the body, and you get up and you do it. And then you get to write it down. You know, you're doing what you gotta do to get by, but ultimately you're not respecting yourself. I think we all have a certain amount of appreciation and respect for hero figures. We all look at the guy who never lies, always does the right thing, and fucking helps everybody out, and that's the John Wayne character. You know, that's the ultimate hero. The ultimate hero. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. And when you look at your own life and you don't stack up, you're a thief, you stole money from your wife's purse, and you don't want to smoke cigarettes, but you fucking have to. You can't deal with the stress and smoke. You devalue yourself. You slowly start devaluing yourself. You look at yourself and you realize that if you were judging yourself, you would judge yourself unfaithfully. You can't pretend you're the hero of your story. Hero of your story. Most people get stuck in these patterns, find themselves in the person who doesn't follow through on their ideas. Well, I start things and I quit. No, you don't. No, you have started things and you quit, and it gives you a horrible sense of regret. It's made you define yourself by that. You're not who you were a year ago. You're not who you were 5 years ago. You're not who you were last week. So you gotta regulate how much you dwell on regrets of the past. You really gotta be careful. You have to be the hero of your own story. You have to be the hero of your own story. You can be the hero of your own story that woke up today. You can be the hero of your own story that at 40 years of age stopped, got out of bed and said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm gonna get myself in shape, I'm gonna eat healthy.
And I'm gonna do this because this is me now. This is me now. I decided this is me. And people have to realize that you are not your past. You are not all the times you fucked up. You're not all the times you're drunk. That's not you. That's not you. You are the person who's learned from a great deal of experience. This is a battle that you will fight for the rest of your life. But the key is to fight it, not to give in. Don't give in to that resistance. Fight that resistance. And in doing so, every day you do so, you have won the battle for that day. And you will continue to fight that battle. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that.
I didn't want to work with actors anymore. So I was happy that Fear Factor was no actors. Since I had a background in coaching, I was used to teaching people and I was used to encouraging people and getting people motivated. When someone was nervous and they're about to do something, I could grab them and go, look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. This is going to define you. If you back off, get scared, and give it your fear, this is going to define you. Look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. If you just press forward, realize you can do this and succeed, it will define you in a positive way. You can do this. It was completely unexpected. Because I thought the gig was just going to be these people do these crazy things. I make fun of it, you know, and we all cheer, and it would all play itself out as a reality show. But somewhere along the line, especially when they became really nervous, it was very intense. There was moments where I wanted these people to win. You know, I wanted these people to do their best. I wanted these people to succeed. There was one time, there was this father and the son competing against a mother and the daughter. And the father and the son were kind of jerks. And they thought that they were going to win. The parent and child got down to 2. And it was the man and his son versus the woman and her daughter. And everybody thought these jerks were going to win, and we were kind of bummed out about it. But the woman and her child, they just rose to the occasion. I mean, I remember talking to them and firing them up. I didn't know if they could do it. I didn't know if they could do it. Look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. This is going to define you. If you back off, get scared, and give it your fear, this is going to define you. Look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. If you just press forward, realize you can do this and succeed, it will define you in a positive way to do this. It was some crazy thing that they had to climb and do this thing, had to gather flags. It was all the time. The kind of jerky son, the jerky dad, they kept screwing up. They fucked up because they kind of taken it for granted that they were going to win. A lot of times jerks are just insecure. And when they're under pressure, when they're really faced with real pressure, this is the real moment. Who are you really? Who are you really? Fuck all that talk. Who are you really? They fall apart. The mother and the daughter won. You're talking about a hard crew of people that watch people eat animal dicks, jump out of helicopters, season after season, episode after episode. Everybody cried. The Canada people, I don't cry now if I'm thinking about it. Just seeing their spirit when they were figuring out a way to win, watching them win. But to this day, look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. This is going to define you. If you back off, get scared, and give it your fear, this is going to define you. Look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. If you just press and realize you can do this and succeed, it will define you in a positive way to do this. For sad things. I tear up for happy things. It's never been sad things. It's very hard to get me to cry, but sad things. I'm trying. Success. People pulling through. When someone has a particularly incredible performance, I have to fight off tearing up. I feel so happy for them. With sad things, I can objectively analyze them, and I cannot get sad. I can understand that this is just life, and it is what it is. I mean, I won't feel good, but I won't start weeping. I don't weep for sad things the way I weep for happy. I can rationalize and understand sorrow. I can internalize it. I get it. I just get so happy for people sometimes when things go well. As a human being, you realize how hard it is to overcome competition or these difficult moments or these moments when you're tested. And you know that there's fears and insecurities that these people have to battle, as well as the actual physical task in front of them. There's so much going on. Look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. This is going to define you. If you back off, get scared, and give it your fear, this is going to define you. Look at me. You can do this. Look at me. You can do this. If you just press and realize you can do this and succeed, it will define you in a positive way to do this. You can 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 do this. I am a student of human will. I love stories of discipline and success. I don't even like going to movies where they're sad. I'm not interested. I know it's sadness. I've been sad. I get it. I'm not interested in getting that in a form of entertainment. I like success. I like seeing people triumph. I like seeing the human spirit manifest itself in spectacular ways.
refinance your mortgage. We had a 15-year on our beet farm, paid it off early. Yeah, well, you know what? Nobody cares about your stupid beet farm. Beets are the worst. People love beets. Who likes beets? Nobody likes beets, Dwight. Why don't you grow something that everybody does like? You should grow candy. Who likes beets? Who likes beets? Who likes beets? Nobody likes beets. You should grow candy. Who likes beets? Nobody likes beets. You should grow candy. I love a piece of candy right now. Well, a beet. I love a piece of candy right now. Well, a beet. Who likes beets? Who likes beets? Who likes beets? Nobody likes beets. You should grow candy. Who likes beets? Nobody likes beets. You should grow candy. Who likes beets? Who likes beets? Who likes beets? Nobody likes beets. You should grow candy. Who likes beets? Nobody likes beets. You should grow candy. He's got clout.
People look for the shortcut, the hack. And if you came here looking for that, you won't find it. The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. And if you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better. Free. One of my I guess my mantra is a very simple one. Discipline equals freedom. Free time? right foods to fuel your system correctly. It is disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. It is about having the discipline to control your ego so it doesn't get out of hand and control you. It is about treating people the way you would want to be treated. It is about doing the tasks you don't want to do, but you know will help you. Discipline is about facing your fears so you can conquer them. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what is right for you and for others. Discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals discipline equals freedom, 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 equals discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom. So often, the easy path calls us to be weak for that moment, to break down another time, to give in to desire and short-term gratification. Discipline will not allow that. Discipline calls for strength and fortitude and will. It won't accept weakness. It won't tolerate a breakdown in will. Discipline can seem like your worst enemy, but in reality, it is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can, and it will put you on the path to strength and health and intelligence and happiness. And most important, discipline will put you on the path to freedom. Discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals discipline, 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 discipline.
Even those that are supposedly born and never lose touch with the knowledge of their true nature, they are not much help to humanity because they don't know how to meet anybody where they are. In order to be of help to humanity, you have to take the pathways yourself. in order to then make those pathways available to other people. And hence he said, I had to become like you in order for you to become like me. I had to become like you in order for you to become like me. I can't comment on his experience, but it's a beautiful idea. Even if one is born in the full knowledge of one's divine identity, even so, to be of service to your community, you would have to forget that. Find pathways yourself in order to make those pathways available for others. I had to become like you. I had to become like you. I had to become like you. In order for you to become like me. For you to become like me. I had to become like you. I had to become like you. In order for you to become like me. For you to become like me. I had to become like you. Become like you. In order for you to become like me. For you to become like me. I had to become like you. I had to become like you. In order for you to become like me. For you to become like me. For you to become like me.
From a distance, you can hear the brass and the drums as they get closer. And it begins as a sound, very interesting. It begins as a sound, and as it gets louder, there comes a point where imperceptibly it becomes visible. And then all I can say is it gets bigger. Just like someone marching toward you through three-dimensional space. Marching toward you through three-dimensional space. And so it goes from being a little phenomenon on the horizon of your awareness to you're there, you're with them, you're playing the tuba, you're marching along, it's happening. It's happening. And then they peel off and march away and leave you in the same way they came. The archetype of this phenomenon, as far as I can tell, is the archetype of the circus. The circus. The empty is somehow the cosmic circus. The circus. The circus. The cosmic circus. And if you analyze what the circus is, it's a closed environment of permitted outrageousness that roves the straight landscape, setting up one town and then another and then another. And it's the thing of wonder and light and was just this aura. More liquor was being consumed, more people were staying up late, so forth and so on. And if you analyze the circus, it has all the elements of the DMT thing. I mean, there's the center ring, the clowns. And Henry Munn, in a wonderful essay on psilocybin mushrooms called The Mushrooms of Language, describes them as self-performing acrobatic soberanda. This is clearly the same thing. DMT is somehow the cosmic circus. The circus. The cosmic circus is a wonderful place for children, but it has behind that a dark side, my own earliest reminiscence of what I could call erotic awareness. I must have been very, very young, under 3, because I was being held by people. And I was taken to a circus, and there was a woman there in a tiny G-string costume, spinning, hanging by her teeth up near the sun, and it was all there. Eros and risk and drama, and I got it. So there's all that in the circus, but then there's also the wiggy side, bearded lady, the goat-faced boy, the thing in the bottle. That's the circus. The circus. DMT is somehow the cosmic circus. The circus. The circus. The cosmic circus. And just the main event. And then the circus packs up and leaves, and everything is the same except there's paper blowing around in the wind. And every little boy and girl with their cell phones to run off and join the circus. So this is the archetype of DMT, completely self-contained, transformative world filled with all kinds of implications. Not a very scientific part of the rap, because it's very hard to convince people that there are non-human intelligences this side of Genebel Ganubi. And when you tell them that these non-human intelligences are accessed through the diminutive mushrooms growing on their front lawn, they just write you off as a squirrel. But this question of the non-human intelligences is very, very much on the agenda. All shamans in all times and places have claimed this. The thing that thing. With DMT, it lasts 4 minutes. And so how lost in an examination of childhood trauma can you get in 4 minutes, especially when you have hundreds of L's tugging at your coat sleeves? It's really an incredibly powerful tool. We have the UFO people claiming there are non-human intelligences, but they have no reliable method of contact that works for a skeptic. The great thing about DMT is it doesn't require belief. The truth requires no belief. It is the truth. The truth requires no belief. It is the truth. This, to my mind, is the great and chilling mystery in the center of the psychedelics. And once you encountered these things, you have to take them seriously. To the point of you have to understand, where do they fit into the great order of being? What are these things? How can there be a life form not made of matter? In other words, how can they be intelligent and coherent but have no fixed body outline? Is the universe in fact populated by non-human, non-material intelligences that we somehow contact using drugs? Where are they when you're not there? Is it an ongoing thing? Is something going on this planet? Are these the controllers? Are you getting into a back channel that you're not cleared for? Or, and this is to my mind the most chilling and appalling and exhilarating possibility of all, when you go back over the shamanism thing, you say, you shamans, now where is this all coming from? They will tell you it comes from ancestors. Well, that's a cheerful and fairly sanitized concept, but when you deconstruct it, ancestors are dead people. The truth requires no belief. It is the truth. The truth requires no belief. It is the truth. What is actually being suggested there is that there is a kind of ecology of souls, one energy threshold over, that is co-present with this world. Well, strangely enough, that's what the Irish myth of the Fae says. It says these are dead people. These are souls that linger in our environment, and this is what souls look like. Again, folklore is only a guide, but if what we are dabbling with, if what lies at the end of the road of shamanism is the dissolution of the boundary between life and death itself, then the million-year intuition that this was a path worth following will be dramatically vindicated.
Akira.
He's got clout.
Akira.
He's got clout.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. One heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
And with that, brings us to the end of another episode of Get On This Level, virtual reality DJ set with Beat Saber. Thanks for joining me. Go out, have a great day. See you tomorrow.